rhythmic thump, distant but distinct. Most who served America in Vietnam, it remains the drumbeat of death's intimate proximity. An instrument of destruction, yes, but also a channel of escape.
When you ask a veteran about the Huey, it really is like a magic key.
Such was the epiphany of Texas filmmakers Cheryl and Pat Freeze, and the launch of a mission blessed with the gift of mending souls.
What if you could get one and take it to them again? And, 3 decades later, let them have that experience again. And I bet it would really unlock their stories.
In time, the Freeze found that Huey and followed its 10,000-mile journey across the country. Each stop of the UH-1 Iroquois drawing those whose lives she and her sister ships had saved, as well as the loved ones of many that she could not. Old friends like Deer Park's Lola Kramer.
I'd do it again.
Known lovingly by the troops as a donut dolly, Kramer and her Red Cross crew hitched rides on Hueys to forward fire bases, delivering to American boys bound for combat a little Kool-Aid and comforting conversation.
What's hard for people to realize is how many came and talked to us just because we sounded like someone they knew. So if you can imagine, here this really handsome guy comes up to you and starts a conversation. Man, this is the best looking guy I've seen today. And you find out in the end, he says, you sound just like my mom.
And so when the blades breached the Bayou City skyline, Lola and her daughter were waiting, there to reckon with a past at once painful and precious.
To sit in there again and touch it, it's almost indescribable.
You think you're going to come back and just pick up where you left off and be the same old person, and you're not.
On June 24th, 1966, Huey door gunner Keith Bodine shot and killed his first enemy soldier and watched the first of many friends die. It was his 21st birthday. And while a year of war's savagery left his heart heavy, it took the hate waiting at home to truly break it.
I landed at Hobby and had my uniform on. I was walking down in the airport, and a guy came up to me and asked me if I just got back from Vietnam, and I said, yeah, and he told me I ought to be ashamed of myself.
For 3 decades, bitterness burrowed inside Bodine. In a real sense, waiting for a pair of Huey blades and a buddy to land in Pasadena.
It was the most awesome feeling, first time I saw him.
He's talking about Connie Mack Pearson, the last of 7 badly wounded soldiers Bodine dragged bleeding aboard his gunship.
They wouldn't have lived if we hadn't had the Huey Helicopter.
And I told him, I said, you don't get me, because he had a helicopter full of wounded. I said, you don't get me now, I'm done. He ripped the seats out of the copter and got me in there.
A poignant thread, one of many carefully woven in a loving cinematographic labor of reconciliation and remembrance.
I think what people will see here is that when you do unlock your story, when you share that, it opens doors for you, no matter what pain you might have lived with.
Maybe that's why some still hear in the thud of an approaching Huey the sound of angels' wings. Greg Grugan, Fox 26 News.